We're going to see the band coming out. Sam Nichols, Nunu taken away. The Zerath taken away from Zimrothron. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a Yasuo band to come shortly after. The Vayne band from Reedman, as always, keeping him on that Jinx. Pantheon taken away from Diamond PvPer. Such an oppressive support to take off the board. They decide to go for the Lulu of Poto. A really nice band to try and shut down their reliance on Reedman as a carry. The Yasuo band coming out for Zimrothron, trying to shut down his carry abilities. Wukong and Zac are going to be picked up by Mountain. Very oppressive, strong combo with a lot of CC and setup for the whole team. Duke CJ1 going to be sticking to his coveted Gnar, something that we see him on a lot, and a very reliable pick for him. It looks like 69 Grandmaster is going to pick Mumu, Hecarim, Kayn again. Okay. Going for the Kayn again. Probably another red game. Zimrothron picking up the Syndra, his third best and third most consistent champion. It is a checklist for him. If you ban 1, it's 2. If you ban 2, it's 3. Swartz is going to answer with an Anivia. An interesting pick and an interesting matchup since Anivia has a lot slower of a playstyle. Control Mage against Control Mage here will be a much slower mid lane than we're used to, but still a lot of consistent gameplay from both sides. I'm interested to see who wins here, because Anivia post-buff is quite strong. We see the Vel'Koz banned out for Diamond PvPer, a Mumu taken away for Sam, the Shen coming out again for Duke CJ1, and we're going to top it off with a Valley Olaf ban. Reedman is going to pick up the Jinx again. Going for another hypercarry comp. We're going to see Valley answer back with probably a Jhin again. Yep. And then support is going to be a Pyke. A lot of roam power and a lot of all-in strong potential. Pato is going to go for Lux, or he's troll hovering. Galio. So they're going to have a very, very hard to kill front line, which are all going to dogpile and try and cover for Reedman. Meanwhile, on the other side, there's going to be a lot of consistent damage and roam potential. Diamond PvP are probably going to look for a lot of ganks on Anivia or roams with 69 Grandmaster. And there's actually a swap? Oh no, they're trolling. Okay. It all makes sense now. But a lot of the same that we see from the last game bleeding into game 2. The power picks taken away from both sides are going to change up either the win conditions or the flow of the game, at least early. And that will help determine what is going to be going on afterwards or in the meantime. We are going to have a 3-minute spectator delay, so we're going to be cooling once again. right, heading into Game 2 of the Valley Chaos versus Iowa Mountain Grand Finals. Winner takes all for the 2020 Valley League Championship Series. Right now, Valley is leading 1-0, and I am joined by my co-host, Dustin.
Whew, I got back just in time.
We
I had to run
love
across my apartment, but I made it.
A. That's what it's about. Changes that we see in this game. The Zac and Wukong, as well as the Anivia, almost an entirely new comp for Mountain, keeping the Jinx for Reedman as always on the hyper carry. Meanwhile, on the other side, only a small change made. Zimrothron going from the Yasuo, which was banned, to the Syndra and Diamond PvPer onto the Pike. We do see an early flash taken away from Pato as they catch him out in the 5-point. Jappy has changed to Cleanse. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Yeah, I think Cleanse definitely would have been better last game. It is gonna help against the Galio taunt in lane, but outside of that, he won't really have too much to cleanse because Zac, Wukong, and Galio all have knockups, and you cannot cleanse that. You can cleanse Flash. So if he cleanses at the right time, out of the knockup and flashes away, he is able to get out. But if they chain it properly, then the cleanse won't really do too much.
It will work for the Galio taunt, but I think most of the time when that comes out, you're pretty doomed, especially on someone as immobile as Jhin. If you get caught in a taunt, Cleanse is not going to save you, but I appreciate the variability that he's showing and his willingness to change depending on the matchups. That's something that I do like seeing a lot.
Yeah, great adaptions. It does look like Valley was confident with their main game plan last game. They have 3 of the same champions, the same top and jungle, and the same AD carry. And they did change up the support in the mid. We do see Reedman is the same on the Jinx, and they did a lot of different changes. It looks like they're going for an even more aggressive team fighting comp with a little bit more control in the mid lane and some more CC coming in from the other 3 roles. So I'm very excited to see how this game's going to play out.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to see the Galio come out with more of a synergistic combo. Either the Kindred jungle or the Camille top would have been ideal in my opinion, but I do like the Wukong for a lot of dive potential onto the immobile Jhin and Syndra. We do see a flash being forced out from Swartzy, the stun landed from Zimrothron, and Grandmaster right there to try and follow up, but he does make it out safely this time.
Yeah, great flash. I don't know if he saw the Kane coming in, but it was a perfect timing right when he flashed. Kane showed himself, so great job from Swartzy getting it out of there. It is definitely hard being put in these losing matchups, especially early. The Syndra and Nivea matchup, it is in the favor of Zimrothron once again. So Swartzy is definitely being as team friendly as possible and just trying to play and have better team comps. He does get the egg passive. I don't think there's any kills coming onto Swartzy. Nice flash from Zimrothron to get away from Sam Nichols and the Zac jump. So great job trading flash for flash.
Yeah, and the bot lane of Valley able to get a nice chunk onto Pato, who steps a little too far, missing his flash from the level 1. He does end up proccing the Aftershock, letting him live, but beautiful synergy coming out and very nice, clean mechanics.
Yeah, we do see a lot of action happening in this early game, but nothing really coming from it. We do see a lot of summoners being traded, a lot of fights being forced, but no kills yet at the 4-minute and 25-second mark. We do have a dragon coming up. It is going to be another Infernal Dragon first. So again, both of these teams are going to like whatever soul is going to come from it. We do see Grandmaster going into the top side. He does evade the ward just because of Kane's Shadow Step going through multiple walls and evading the ward. He does get the Krugs and stealing away from Zac. So he should have an XP lead, and he does have a CS lead as well. we do see Zach coming towards the bot lane. There are no wards in the river, but it looks like they're playing rather safe in the lane and not pushing up too far.
Yeah, I do like seeing the jungle invade strategies coming out. Kane not having a lot of matchups that he wins early game, but Zac being one of the very few where he can kind of eke out a lead and bully Zac, who has an impressively weak early game. So stealing these camps away is going to add up. He also gets behind Swartzy, who doesn't have flash, doesn't have egg, and it'll translate into a first blood on Zimrothron.
Yeah, just Swartzy being a little bit too far, not knowing that Grandmaster was in the top side of his own jungle. Great gank coming in from Grandmaster, and very fortunate that Zimmerthron was able to get the first blood.
Yeah, and we're going to see a little bit more action in the bot lane. Patos flash is up. He could look for something here. We do see that Sam is still on the bot side, looking to set up something for early dragon-type plays. Meanwhile, Diamond PvPer has been fishing the whole time, looking for some sort of hook setup to try and get an aggressive pick.
Yeah, it is good seeing the different support versatility coming in from Diamond PvPer. I don't know if we've seen him play Pyke yet, so a nice surprise pick, and it's Pyke and Vel'Koz are very different playstyles. Vel'Koz just being super safe and poking from a distance, and then Pyke wants to get in and get those hooks and initiations and try to go for those kills at the end.
We do see a gank coming out from Sam. A little Jappy, a little bit slow in the cleanse, fails to flash and ends up still going down. The kill going on to Sam, which is pretty much the best scenario that Valley could ask for out of that gank. But a very nice calculated gank from Sam and a really good setup coming out from Pato, who's able to get the knockup and the taunt coming out.
Yeah, this is definitely something that Mountain needs to look for. If they can get their bot lane rolling, especially since they have a tank jungle, tank support, a more control mage in the mid, and a bruiser in the top lane, if they're able to get Reedman started and scaling into this game, he should be able to deal a lot of damage. It looks like Zimmerthron is just having his way in the mid lane right now on another one of his picks. On the Cinder, he is able to get the kill, and it looks like Grandmaster is going to be taken down alongside Diamond PvPer, all for just the Zac passive. So this is exactly what I said earlier, where Reedman needed these kills to get ahead early to make sure that he is the carry that they're going to need in the late game.
Yeah, Zimrothron trades it back, always going at least one step ahead of Reedman, 3-0 at the 8-minute mark with 71 CS. He is on track to get 9 or 10 per minute by the 10-minute mark in this mid lane matchup. So as much as Reedman is getting a very strong lead in the bot lane, Zimrothron is doing the same thing for Valley in the mid.
Yeah, this game, or this series, is definitely going to turn into the Zimrothron versus Reedman show. Whatever one of those can get an early lead and translate it into the mid game is going to be looking to probably win the series. Whoever can be the most consistent between these two players is definitely going to have the biggest edge.
Yeah, but the rest of the team for Reedman is quite strong at shutting down Zimrothron. On the Valley side, there's not a lot of pick or dive potential. I guess besides the Pyke and Kane maybe, but he's going red Kane. They don't have a lot of answers to win Reedman, especially after he gets his passive starts popping off. But on the opposite side, Mountain has a lot of tools to either pressure Zimrothron from the fight or take him out of it entirely.
Yeah, but saying it and doing it are two completely different things. Zimrothron has definitely shown that he is super consistent. He gets kills when he needs them, and as long as he doesn't overextend and get ganked, he has shown that he can carry these games. I think those are definitely the biggest things we have to look out for. If Mountain can find a way to get on top of the Syndra and to CC him before he's able to take out Reedman or another person on Mountain, then they have a really good shot at winning these games. But it's just Zimrothron always puts himself in a carry position, and it makes it really hard for the other teams.
Yeah, we are going to see a little bit of adaptability. A bot lane play coming out. Pato going for the Ignite onto Little Jappy decides his cleanse is still on cooldown, rather, he will be able to walk away from that play, but a really nice setup and a scary position to be in if you're little Jappy.
Yeah, a great engage from Pato. They don't really use anything outside of the ignite. They get Joppy really low in Diamond PvP. A great engage again from Pato is able to get the cleanse out of Little Joppy. They do have the heal down there as well in case they get dove, and it looks like they are setting up for something. We do see Zimmerthron coming through the river, but he is going to be seen on that pink ward. It does not look like the Galio is in a good spot. He is going to get stunned and pushed. Great kill. It looks like Mountain is going to have a response on the other side of the map, so there's always something happening in these games, and they're definitely trading blow for blow.
Yeah, beautiful knockup by Vaxis in order to stop the jump of Duke CJ1. He almost got out of that play without having his flash, but he is stopped in his tracks as Zimrothron forces the flash of Swartzy again in the mid lane, which will probably end up enabling him into even more solo kill plays.
Yeah, I just want to take a second and praise how well Swartzy has played. Zimmerthron is definitely the highest ranked person in this tournament, and to be able to go slightly behind him and not give up too many kills, that's a lot to ask for, and Swartzy is definitely showing us that in a 1v1, he's not going to fall too far behind, and he's not going to give up too many deaths.
Yeah, and that's really the most you can hope for. In both these games, he's had quite tough matchups as well. Either Zimrothron going for excellent counter picks, or the dice are just rolled against him. He's done quite well, especially being in such poor matchups.
Yeah, one thing I do want to point out is we do have another big CS lead coming from the jungle on the side of Valley. Grandmaster has gotten his most played champion twice in a row, and he is showing why he makes Kayn look so scary. He has a 28 CS lead right now, going at 12 minutes. Even though he is down in kills and assists, he has about a 500 gold lead. So we have multiple people in this series that have like their best champion that they're able to play, because we have stuff like the Zimmerthron Yasuo, we have the Syndra, we have the Xerath that have to be banned away. We do see a nice engage coming in from Mountain. They are able to get onto multiple members of Valley. They're not able to finish anybody off. Sam Nichols gets really low. A nice heal coming in from Reedman. They are able to get multiple kills on the side of Valley. Nice fourth shot coming in and getting him low and slowing him. So they are going to get multiple kills on the side of Valley, and nothing for Mountain. They're probably going to be able to get a second dragon to start stacking these dragons and get closer to the soul.
Yeah, this sort of response play by Valley that's ending up paying off. Nice roams by Zimrothron. Noticing that Swartzy is gone from the lane. Swartzy making the correct play, having the teleport, is ending up getting shut down at every turn, and it's starting to get into a scary position for Mountain, where their solo laner mid rather can't look to make plays in his own lane, and is having a hard time when his roams get shut down. So not a lot of options left on the table for Swartzy in this match.
Yeah, another something I want to point out is I think this shows that these are the best two teams in the tournament right now. Top lane has been going trade for trade, blow for blow this entire series so far. Whenever there's a 1v1 fight, both of them are getting super low. We see Sam Nichols, even though he doesn't have as much CS as Grandmaster, he affects the map, and he is making his ganks count, and he is helping his team wherever he can. In mid lane, Swartzy is probably one of the best people to go against Zimmerthron in this tournament that can actually do stuff. against him. We do see that he just died 1v1, but it's because Zimmerthron has been able to get the help in mid lane and also roam and get multiple kills. However, in a straight 1v1, I think Swartzy definitely has a decent chance to try to limit what Zimmerthron normally does. And then we've seen in the other games that Mountain has done that Reedman has been the carry for Mountain. And then in this game, we've seen that Little Joppy and Diamond PvPer have been able to slow down the kills that Reedman normally gets early to start his scaling and his snowballing. That they have gone even with what is probably the best AD carry in this tournament.
Yeah, it is really nice to see the controlled bot lane matchup. No matter what they're going for, Jappy is able to at least secure a CS lead in the lane and stop Reedman from getting out of control that we've seen in some of the other matchups, or other series rather, that have gone on so far. Even against something like a Zac, we see him save the flash with perfectly timed flash to dodge the slingshot and just make it out and try and do damage control for as long as he can.
Yeah, we are definitely seeing the peak for both of these teams. Little Joppy getting the 1v1 kill, getting the fourth shot, and using the Gale Force right at the end there to dodge out. So great job from Joppy, and a great job from the other side of the map too, getting a kill. And Vaxis does trade a kill onto Duke, even with the dive coming. So wherever there's something happening on one side of the map, we always see something on the other side of the map as well. So great job from both teams, just trying to find whatever they can in these games. We do see Zac jumping over again. I don't know if he's going to be able to get too much done, but he does help save off a lot of damage onto that turret. Little Joppy is ulting. He hits a couple of shots, hits the third one, but he won't be able to do too much else here because Zac is going into his passive. A nice pull from Diamond PvPer to stop the taunt coming in from the Galio. So this bot lane from Valley is definitely showing that they came to play today.
Yeah, things are starting to get a little out of hand for UI Mountain. Jappy has got his completed mythic item, which is equal for both teams, but I believe he has quite a fat gold lead. So when he does decide to recall and start working on his collector or rapid fire cannon, whichever he decides to go for, the damage is going to start to rack up and get absurd. Zimrothron starting to bush camp around the mid and top lane that he's already taken the towers for. And as I was saying, Jappy just absolutely obliterating Prado with a single item. The damage is getting out of hand already at this point in the game.
Yeah, we know what Zimmerthron can do, and we've definitely seen Little Joppy have his moments here and there, but he has definitely been someone who is super consistent, and we haven't really seen this super aggressive Little Joppy that we see now. He is definitely feeling really good in this game. He is playing extremely well, dodging a lot of the CC that's coming out, and outputting a bunch of damage.
And this is what we've been wanting to see. AD carries take the initiative and go crazy in their game. Reedman really was the prime example of that. You see his score lines on Vayne and Jinx dropping between 15 and 20 kills in solo carrying matches. It's nice to see other players on other champions meet that aggression and even take a lead against Reedman himself.
Oh yeah, we do see Zimmerthron was waiting in the bush there. They are able to take one kill onto Reedman, but Diamond PvPer gets super low. Zimmerthron is able to get another kill at the end, but again, on the other side of the map, we do see Wukong and Vaxis did solo kill Duke. So when one thing happens on one side of the map, we see a response on the other side. So great job from Valley for getting multiple kills and taking the tower, and it looks like they're positioning themselves for another dragon, so they're going to be one off the soul yet again.
Yeah, about an 8,000 gold, or 7,000 gold lead, almost 8,000 now at 19 minutes, 3 dragons up. An absolutely one-sided game for Valley. This is not what I expected to see this early on in the best of 5. Valley is taking quite a commanding lead, not even by changing their strategy up that much and catching Mountain off guard. They're going for a lot of the same things. They just tweaked one or two champions in their draft.
Yeah, they're definitely showing that they are ready for the best of 5 series today. I think the biggest thing is the roams coming in from Zimmerthron to help him get the items that he needs. We do see that he has a fully stacked Magi Soul Stealer right now, so his ult just by itself can probably kill somebody if they're stunned. So Mountain really needs to try to do whatever they can to stop Zimmerthron from outputting all this damage. If they're able to get onto him and find somehow or some way to get on top of Little Joppy as well, they're going to have a chance. But Zimmerthron is just so far ahead right now. He's level 14. He's the highest level in the game. He's got the most CS, the most kills, and the most golden items. So he is just going wherever he wants, one-shotting the Jinx without ult. And it definitely looks like Mountain is on their heels this game.
It is looking like an 80 carry in 2020 Omega LOL game for Reedman as Valley begins the Baron. They've gotten the pick. They are looking to start this Baron with a 1-member advantage. Sam Nichols down 3 levels on Grandmaster. I don't know how much of a chance Mountain has to contest this, but they're going to try either way. They end up getting it with the Anivia. Swartzy stealing it with the tick of his ultimate. Beautiful. A 3rd Baron steal in the series in the 2nd game.
Just like I said at the end of the game last time, don't go for Baron because the other team is going to steal it. Valley again was set up great to take the Baron. They had the vision. They were there first. They had it super low, but again, it's just both teams are finding ways to stay in the games.
It's incredible to me, but Mountain finds a way to steal the Baron and begin to stall this game. They still have it on at least 4 of the 5 players, and they're going to be able to start defending these towers and pushing their own waves out.
Yeah, we do see that Mountain is going to be able to stall the game a little bit longer as long as they can protect their Nexus towers and just stay in their base. They should be able to be okay. If they do get a kill onto Duke, Valley going a little too aggressive inside of the top side of the jungle with Grandmaster in the bot lane. So great job from Mountain getting kills when they need to and stealing Barons. But the biggest thing is they need to get those huge bounties off of the Syndra and the Jhin. If they're unable to get those, then they're going to be outputting a bunch of damage. They really need to get those 2 kills on the 2 carries on Valley, or else they're just going to be one-shotting everybody.
Yeah, and those 2 kills would start to close the gold gap, which is something that they need to look for before this next dragon spawns. I believe that will be the deciding fight for this game. If Valley has a very one-sided commanding victory, they could push for damage that Mountain can't really come back from. But if Mountain is able to get the shutdown fight turn, they could start to come into this match and hit their stride. And when Jinx and Anivia start scaling, it becomes a very scary game.
Yeah, exactly. Mountain also has a lot of different tools to deal with the immobile carries on the Jhin and the Syndra. They have invisibility and a knock-up from the Wukong. They have a knock-up, a long-range jump from the Zek and the Galio. So as long as they're able to find these fights from out of vision, they definitely have a shot to get back into the game. It's not too far out of the way yet. They're only down 8,000. I know, only 8,000. That is a lot of gold, but they're staying in this game, and they're doing what they can. Dude, they have found the fight. They are able to get onto the back line. They found a kill onto multiple members of Valley, and they have started the dragon. So exactly what they needed to do. They found multiple kills. They got onto Little Joppy, and they were able to start the fight with all of their layered CC. So this is exactly what they need to do to claw their way back into the game. By no means are they back to even yet. They found one good fight. They still have to find a way to kill Zimithron on the Syndra and get another bounty, but they are definitely working their way there.
Yeah, I gotta give major props to Pato and Sam Nichols there. That setup was beautiful. The flash knockup from the Galio immediately into the slingshot from Sam almost took Jappy to his death before any of the carries even touched him. Like, that layering of the CC and the beautiful initiation is what's really going to get Mountain the win when they pick these sort of tanky engaged team comps.
Yeah, another thing we need to look at is we do see that this is where Mountain starts to pull ahead later in the game. The top lane and the AD carry are starting to get their CS leads, so it's just a matter of time until the Jinx is catching back up to the Jhin. So as long as the Jinx is able to keep matching CS, she is going to be able to output a lot more DPS, especially with her passive, letting her stack auto attacks quicker with Get Excited. So if she's able to move around in these team fights and somehow dodge Zimithron, man will be able to output a lot of damage, especially since little Joppy on the Jhin, his auto attacks are really, really slow, and his damage is really high with every auto attack, but it's just really slow. If Reedman can find these fights and stay alive, he should be able to slowly chunk down the champions on Valley.
Yeah, he does have the finished Kraken Slayer and Runeance, which means his team fight itemization is pretty much secured at this point. If he starts to pick up something like a stopwatch into GA, or even a Zanya's, as I've heard from one of the best coaches on Earth, he could find a way to stall these fights, survive, and end up dealing massive damage to the Valley squad.
Yeah, some good coaches giving some good advice here. We do see another engage. When Mountain engages, they are finding the picks that they need. The only bad thing is they used multiple of their ults to get only one pick. Baron is spawning soon. Grandmaster, the jungler for Valley, is dead. So if they are able to find another pick, they might be able to get into the Baron pit and start chunking it down. But the two main carries are still up, so they need to be careful, and they need to just claw their way back in the game. So earlier they were down 8,000, and now it's gotten to less than 5.
Yeah, Mountain making really good strides to come back into that fight. They end up getting out, even though Zimrothron is there to try and answer something. A pick might be coming out here, but it looks like they're just going to be able to get out for free. Probably not doing Baron with those sort of health bars, but they're making perfect picks and dancing on the knife's edge to really close this gap. It's down to nothing but 4,000 gold between them and Valley.
Yeah, great picks coming in from Mountain. They are gonna finally get picked one on their team, so the Galio does go down, and it's at one of the worst times when Mountain is resetting and Valley is able to get into this Baron pit. They are starting it, but as we've seen, when you are the team that starts Baron, you get it stolen. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen here. They do have it somewhat low. It's down to 8,000. The Jinx ult is not going to steal it this time, but they are getting really low. We see the Kayn and the Pyke are low. We see Zac come in, and the Baron is slowly going down, and Jhin takes the Baron, but at what cost? The rest of the team is dying. We see multiple members on Valley going down. Zimithron is still alive, but just barely. He gets taken out at the end by Reedman, and it looks like we have 4 members down on Valley. They are able to take the Baron, but Mountain is now back into the game, and they are only 5,000 down with taking out multiple members of Valley, getting multiple shutdowns, and Zimithron still has a 650 gold bounty.
I just want to point out that Reedman died instantly. A single QE coming out from Zimrothron took about 90% of Reedman's health. I'm not sure whether Electrocute proc there, but he needs to start building defensive items in order to try and survive even the simplest of combos. We do see an attempted steal coming out from Grandmaster that does fail, but they are going to look to try and get some picks on the back of this. They get the confirmed Umbral Trespass after the Galio Flash, following the Anivia with the Flash. It looks like they're going to get the Egg Form here. Yes, and they could turn this into a kill. Reedman is top. They do end up getting the picks, and they have the Baron buff on the Kayn, who's there to look and try and push waves in.
Yeah, now all of Valley needs to go into one lane and start pushing it together. If they can start chipping away at these inhib towers and get an inhib, they will be in a good chance to get the next Baron as it comes up and help pressure the rest of the map. A great stun coming in from Zimithron to one-shot yet another person onto Mountain, and their split push is working, especially since Zimithron is so strong and is able to take somebody off the map with a press of a button.
Yeah, these sort of picks and attempted dives that they're going for is really going to help them stagger the deaths on Mountain and look to try and make this into a game-winning play. They get the kill on Tapato, and they immediately turn it into a tower and then a kill on Sam, which means they're going to be able to get at least 2 inhibitors. If they can try and get one more pick, they could look to end the game here with the Baron on Grandmaster.
Yeah, great job from Valley getting multiple kills here. They are looking at taking down the rest of the base with the Baron minions. They have multiple people going low. Reedman is outputting a lot of damage, so if he's able to stay alive here and dodge out some of the Cinder damage, they might be able to stay in the game. Grandmaster and Little Joppy are trying to end the game, but it looks like it's getting super low. Grandmaster ulting on top of Reedman. Reedman running away from the Nexus to prevent Grandmaster getting onto the Nexus. A quadra kill coming out from Reedman, but the cost is their base. They lose multiple inhibs. 1, 2, 3, 4 towers. And it's going to be really easy for Valley just to march right back in and try to close out the game. The Nexus is less than 2,000 health. But Reedman is still the saving grace. He's got multiple kills in that last team fight. He played that super well with his positioning, not dying instantly to Zimrithron. He moves away from the Nexus to prevent Grandmaster from getting a couple extra autos onto the Nexus. And Mountain really needs to be careful now and not let Valley into the base.
Yeah, the Lethality Pike now is a golden opportunity to try and sneak in. Anytime they come out for a Baron or a Dragon, or they want to do anything as 5, Reedman is kind of hanging back, expecting this sort of backdoor play to come out, only moving when he's seeing the players that are most likely to be the perpetrators of such an attack. But it's a very scary game for Mountain at this point. At any moment, they could have their Nexus explode.
Yeah, we see Valley has turned their focus onto the top lane here with inhibs down in bot and mid. All they have to do is just wait it out and wait for the supers to get into the base. The top lane turret is super low, less than 600 health, and Valley is playing this super smart, playing it super slow, waiting for the other lanes to push. Right now is when Mountain needs to find their engage in order to be able to clear these minions by the time they get to the base. If they're able to find a couple picks here, and there's one, if they're able to find 2 of the main carries onto Valley and not lose too much in return, they should be able to find a little bit more breathing room and maybe find a way to get back into the game. We do see Jinx is coming, and she is clearing these waves. With the Hurricane and the Kraken and the IE, she's able to mow through these waves like they're nothing. So if they're going to do something, they need to do it now while Duke is dead and the minions are not in their base.
Yeah, but defending this top tower is getting really hard. It is down to less than 20 health and regenerating. It's finally taken down as Mountain will be triple inhibbed by Valley.
Yeah, they need to find something right now. Reedman is in a good spot to have a lot of DPS. They have their ults. They have flashes on their main members. They just need to find the engage onto Zimrith Run, and they should be able to win a fight. It's a lot easier said than done, though. Zimmerthron is level 17, and they are attacking and trying to take down this Nexus to win game 2. We do see an engage on top of multiple members and on top of Zimmerthron. He does go down early. Reedman is dealing a lot of damage on the backline. They're able to take out Duke as well, but it looks like Little Joppy and Diamond PvP are going to be able to get away and survive, but it's another defense coming in from Mountain, and they're able to survive yet again.
Yeah, Zimrothra caught out. I wonder if his Zanyas was on cooldown there, as he was caught by a nice chain CC from Pato, Sam Nichols, and Swartzy. The dive really coming in, and it looks like the scaling from Mountain is starting to make its way into the game. They will get Cloud Soul on the side of Valley with a nice 4th shot. They end up trading Diamond PvPer's life and possibly Little Jappies as he's chased down. But Vaxis decides to call off the chase, knowing that his teammates will be up soon, and he does not have any tools to try and chase.
Yeah, we have Mountain coming back into the game. They're only down 1.4 thousand gold, and at this point in the game, they're at 36 minutes. That gold difference doesn't really matter too much because most champions already have their items that they need in fights. So we do see the 3 items, the 3 core items from Jinx coming out to deal all that DPS. We see the Death Cap, the Zanyas, and the Ludens on Zimmerthron. So the carries have their items. But here we go again. We have another Baron being started. We have Mountain slowly getting close to the pit. They should have a chance to steal this with Zach coming in. Zach is getting ready to jump. They don't really have any vision on it. It is down to 3,000, 2,000 coming in, multiple ults coming out. It is again stolen by Sam Nichols.
But the kills are traded on the back side of it, and at the same time, Duke CJ1 is able to find Reedman alone and kill him. They're going to end up getting a 5-0 trade on the back of this steal. Valley ends up getting a clean team ace onto Mountain in return for the steal. A beautiful steal by Sam Nichols, but the fight was just not there for them afterwards. Reedman is singled out and soloed by Duke, and it's going to lose the game for Mountain.
Valley knew that the Baron was going to be stolen. They said, you can have the Baron, we will take the game.
Absolutely incredible game 2. Valley leading 2-0. It will be set point going into game 3. I'm interested to see what kind of stops will be pulled out for Mountain, and if they have any trump card strategies that they have to employ now that this last game is for all the marbles.
Yeah, if Mountain has anything left, any secrets they have up their sleeves, they have to play them now. They have no more room for errors. Both of these games were super quick. Even though Valley was in a huge lead in the second game, this game was actually longer than the first one. So we have seen that both teams are willing to fight over whatever they need to, and they can find ways back into games no matter how far behind they are. So great job from both teams, and especially Valley from getting the win on game number 2 here. So Mountain really needs to, whatever they have left, they have to throw it all at Valley this next game.
Yeah, Mountain had some excellent plays to try and close the gap and get back into that game, but ultimately Valley had the stronger team play when it came to not only the last fight of Baron, but the triple inhib technique that they used, where they got both the inhibitors, looked for the split fights, and then went for the third inhib altogether as soon as they saw Reedman somewhere else. Beautiful team play from them, beautiful comeback strategy from Mountain, and a wonderful game 2. I cannot wait for game 3, but for right now, we are going to have another intermission as the teams prepare the pro draft for game 3 and possibly the final game of the tournament.